Brought to you by Narrative Niche. Created and produced by Twisted Wicked Animations. Written by Jason Douglas Kurtz. Chopper in Come to Chopper. Rain hammered the windshield so hard it sounded like gravel. Deputy Randy Voss killed the wipers and listened. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The sound echoed from deep in the Colorado timberline, somewhere beyond the abandoned mining road outside Hollow County. He stepped from the cruiser into freezing mud, flashlight trembling in his fist. Pine trees leaned over him like gallows spectators. Then came the screaming. Not human anymore, animal. Randy followed it downhill to a hunting cabin with yellow light bleeding through the cracks. The front porch sagged under decades of rot. Something wet dripped from the roof. He raised his pistol. He gave the wooden door a solid knock. Sheriff's Department. The screaming stopped instantly. Silence. Then, chop. Randy kicked the door open. The smell hit first. Copper. Shit. Burned meat. The cabin looked like a slaughterhouse designed by a madman. Blood painted the walls in violent sprays. Limbs hung from meat hooks over the fireplace. A headless corpse twitched on the kitchen table, arteries pumping lazy ribbons across moldy dishes. And standing in the middle of it all was Earl Grady. Earl was his birth name, but he was better known as Chopper, the axe murderer. Chopper was shirtless despite the cold. His body was swollen with old scars and prison tattoos. His massive hands rested a wood axe so heavy it looked forged for execution, not chopping timber. Blood ran down the handle. Earl smiled and summoned the deputy with his empty hand. "Come to Chopper," he taunted. Behind the huge monster, Randy saw movement. A woman nailed to the wall by spikes through her wrists. Still alive. Barely. She couldn't utter a whisper, let alone a scream. Randy gagged. "Jesus Christ!" Earl tilted his head and pointed at the terrified deputy. "You, come to Chopper!" Randy fired twice. One bullet tore through Earl's shoulder. The other exploded his ear into red mist. Earl didn't even flinch. He charged. The axe came sideways. Randy ducked too slow. The blade buried itself into his left arm with a crack like splitting firewood. Bone fragments burst through skin. Randy screamed as Earl ripped the axe free, taking half the arm with it. Blood sprayed across the lantern. Darkness swallowed the room. Randy crawled blindly through gore and broken glass while Earl's boots stomped closer. Thunk, thunk, thunk. "You know what people are?" Earl whispered somewhere in the black. "Trees with bad attitudes." The axe dropped again. It cleaved through Randy's calf, pinning him to the floorboards. Randy shrieked until his throat tore raw. He fired wildly behind him. A wet grunt. One lucky shot caught Earl in the stomach. The giant staggered backward. Randy dragged himself toward the doorway, leaving a thick ribbon of blood behind him. Almost there. Almost. A hand grabbed his ankle. Earl hauled him back across the floor like a gutted deer. The deputy clawed at the wood, nails snapping off. "Please." Earl leaned close, breath hot with whiskey and rot. "You know the problem with mercy," he muttered. "It grows back." The axe rose high, came down hard. Randy's skull split open down the center like a ripe melon. One eye burst from the socket and rolled beneath the stove. Silence returned to the cabin. Earl stood breathing heavily among the butchered remains. Rain tapped the windows softly now. Then the woman on the wall made a tiny choking noise. Still alive. Earl sighed. Persistent little thing. He walked toward her as the lantern flickered. Outside, deep in the woods of Hollow County, something else watched the cabin from between the trees. Something smiling. The end. Collect the trading cards. Just go to narrativeniche.com. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.